Hello, I'm Geetha Pradeep. I manage content and strategy at ForwardSlash Technologies. We are basically a media agency, digital media agency, and we're based in Cochin. Brief intro on how I got into writing. So before I start, so it's like I was basically a software programmer, and I was more into technology. I was into programming, database programming, and stuff like that. And then slowly I got into writing as well because I was always interested in reading and writing. So I've never taken any formal training in writing as such, except recently. And I just landed a freelance offer a few years back, say 4, 5, 6 years back, and then onwards I just started off. Like, I always liked trying out different types of writing, and that's what I kept doing. I kept writing, I kept trying out different styles of writing, and it just went on. And right now it's like I'm more focused on creative content and the content strategy more so yeah, so I'll get into the questions now. Yeah, so the first question is Tanya. Hi, Tanya. So you have 1 year experience in content writing, now wish to specialize in some specific field. So you want to know what are the options available. So you have a 1 year experience in writing already. So that's good. Like somewhere we have to start off, and now you want to specialize in some specific field. What are the possible options? Actually, you have a lot of options in content writing. See, for example, I started off with very general writing topics, and now it's like I've more focused on creative writing. I've done technology, writing on technology. I've done, you see, a lot of different types of writing, marketing content, brochures, and stuff like that, and a lot of different types of content. Uh, See, if what I would suggest that you stick on to whatever you feel you are good at. You want to explore, please do that, because that helps a lot. Because see, it's like a continuous learning process only. You keep learning, you keep exploring, and at some point you will realize, yeah, this is what I would prefer to do. So definitely when that point comes, you'll know this is what you'll be doing later on also. So I did a lot of technology writing on technology, not technical writer as such, but then a lot of writings on technology, because I somehow managed to understand, since I have the software background, I managed to understand a lot of terms there, and my idea was to simplify it such that even a normal reader would understand it, even a non-technology reader would understand it. So I was doing that for a while, but it takes a lot of time to actually read, research, understand that, and then get on to your version of whatever you've read, whatever you've understood. So you'll come to a point where you'll realize that no, this is the kind of writing you want to do. Like when it comes to writing, the options are really like umpteen. There are quite a lot of options that I cannot say what possibilities are there. Unlimited possibilities is what I can say. Uh, if you want to be more specific, let's connect one to one, because I still don't know what kind of writings you've done. So based on that, I probably will be able to give you more inputs on what you can focus on. Yeah, I hope that answers. Isri, what are some things to keep in mind while writing quality content? Yeah, see, quality is a major thing that matters a lot, because see, writing is something I find every other person can do. Okay, every other person is available as a freelancer to start writing on different subjects, because there's a lot of content already available online. All you need to do is do some research, just type it down in your own words, and there you go. You have a piece of content. So quality content is what is going to keep you in this field. If you can write quality content, if you can deliver that on time, consistently, that's what is going to keep you in the field. You can sustain only with quality content. So what you have to keep in mind, you have to read a lot. Seriously telling, you have to keep reading a lot. You have to read a lot of different types of content on the same topic, so that you'll know the same thing. Like for example, technology can be written in many different ways. See, when I do a research on a particular topic, I at least have 10 different articles on the same topic in front of me, because I read through at least 10 articles before I start writing. Because all of these will be different ways of writing, because one person would put it very creatively, one person would add some light notes on it, like keep it a very light-hearted topic, light-hearted way of writing is there. And for another person, it will be straight to the point. It all matters, in fact, because unless you understand your audience, you know very clearly this is my kind of audience, and they only want formal tone, then you can say, yeah, then stick to the formal tone. Yeah, otherwise, if your audience is very wide, then I think you should have a mix of say um, tonalities in your content. So I think you have to read a lot, write a lot again, and ask for feedback, serious feedback. Seriously, I'm telling, I take feedback from all my clients, from even my coworkers, even if they're junior. I just make sure that I take a feedback from them, because see, the way I write will be different from the way you write. So it happens with everyone. So there might be things that I can learn from you, because I'm always open to learning. That keeps me on. Like you have to like keep on learning all through. So for quality content, you have to like read a lot, take a lot of feedback, and use it to improve yourself. People may say you're not good, that's fine, but ask them to be more specific. Try to understand why they are saying it's not good. Is it because of the kind of words that you're using, or is it because of the tone that you're using? So try to get more meaning out of those feedbacks, and try to keep improving. Yes, and use the tools that are available. See, I basically use Grammarly and Ginger, and sometimes even Hemingway app. See, these are the three tools I'm comfortable using. There are a lot of other tools also available online, because each of these tools focuses on a different set of quality parameters. Like for example, Grammarly is very focused on, what I find is that Grammarly is very focused on the spelling issues and the basic grammar stuff. And Hemingway app gives you a better idea on the sentence usages, the phrase usages, and stuff like that. And how easy or difficult it is to when they read your content, when your audience is reading your content. That kind of feedback I get from Hemingway app. And Ginger, again, sentence formations. Yes, I sometimes find it very interesting that okay, I could have actually written it this way also. So I actually run my most of my content through all these three uh, tools before I get on to plagiarism checking, and that's another very important aspect. Because see, I've got a lot of people working with me as interns, or say when they want to start off with writing, because I always have these works happening here. So what I've found is people tend to ignore the plagiarism part. It's not good. You have to be 100% unique. I have to like I'm very specific on that, because unless see, if it's already available on the internet, then you don't have to really copy paste it and share it with your audience, because they would have already seen it somewhere. It is already there. So what's the point of you putting it again on your wall or something like that? So I keep telling this, you have to be 100% unique. And there are ways to do it. You can always tweak your content. You can rewrite it, yes. But then what I feel makes more sense is have your own version of that. You will have your own quality points to add on that, or your point of view on a particular topic. So please go that way. Try to read a lot more to understand what that particular topic is saying, and what you want to convey to your audience. Make sure it adds value to their time, because they're spending some time from their busy schedule to read your article. When they are spending their time, make sure that it gives back something to them. So make sure it always adds some value to what you have read. Like you might have read 10-15 articles, and then you come up with a 16th version, which is your version. So make sure you add some points which will add value to your reader. Yeah. So I would also like to add, these are the basics, so I just left there. But yeah, your spell check and basic grammar check is a must. You cannot avoid that, and there's no way you can get away with that. So those are the basics. Like you cannot really do without that. So get those done. As I said, use Grammarly, and you'll get used to the basic grammar. As you, the more you do it, like last 6 years I've been doing this, and even now I make sure that each piece of my content, whatever goes out from me, goes through Grammarly, clears it, and the plagiarism checker also. Yeah, Sanjana. So content writing, I find, is very much in demand, especially when you can deliver quality content, when you can keep up to the deadlines. Yes, it is a very much in demand career. Okay, and as a beginner, you have to be very crisp with your content. You have to deliver quality content all the time, and you have to try out different types of content. See, unless your client knows that you are comfortable writing different types of content, they'll also have see, every company requires different types of content, right? So I'm not saying you have to be a jack of all, but still, again, if you can write multiple types of content, it always helps. So keep trying. Even if you don't know, please don't hesitate to try it out. There's always research involved in whatever type of writing you do. So keep researching, keep checking Google. There's a lot of resources are available online. So all the kind of content that I have written so far, I have researched from Google. Even ask the client for samples. That's one thing we do. Like I keep doing that. I kept doing that in the initial stages, because I was not familiar with the many types of content. Like, for example, the first time I was asked to do a brochure, I had hardly seen a few brochures. Flyers, yeah, we do see, but brochure is a little more professional. But so I had no clue what I was asked to do. So I just went on and asked, see, I have not done this, boss. So you give me a couple of examples that I can go through, and then I know what is expected of me. So that's one way you can always do it. Like, see, don't position yourself as a I know everything kind of person. Okay. So I know confidence does matter, but then it is better to say that I'm confident of doing it, provided I get some sample, provided I know what is expected of me. Or else you have your own version, and be open to whatever feedbacks you receive, and be open to rework on it also. Again, I still do that, because I'm always of the opinion that it is the end user who matters. Like, ultimately it has to appeal to the end user, whoever is going to read whatever I write. So I am always open to that kind of feedback. So yeah, the career prospects are really good, especially now during this lockdown. There's a lot of content that's being consumed left, right, center. So keep doing. If you are really looking forward to experimenting, this is the right time to do that, because people are there to actually go through your content and give you feedback. They have time, so please do that. Don't hesitate. Meghna Mohan, yeah, what do you think will trend in the future of content writing? Yeah, so Meghna, see, I've seen a few, what do you say, automated writing tools. Okay, a few people had recommended that I go through them, because that was considered a threat at some point of time, a few, maybe a year back or a couple of years back. Yeah, so what happens with tools is that they take a set of already existing content and tweak it and deliver. That's what I've seen. I don't know. There may be very intelligent tools that actually write like humans do. We don't know actually. Yeah. So still, what happens is there's always that my side of my point of view that no one else will have. Yeah, it might be similar to someone else's point of view, but then my point of view is always my point of view, right? So that personalized piece of content is something people will always look forward to. So the future of content writing is definitely bright, but always be open to adapting to whatever is coming up, whatever your audience is looking forward to reading. Let's not stick on to the good old style of, let's not stick on to any particular style. Let's not stick on to like put ourselves inside a box and say that, okay, it is a blog and this is how the blogs should be. No, there's nothing of that sort. You try to be a little different. Make sure that your blog's tone, and it has to be quality content, of course. Make sure that your tone will appeal to your audience. If it's a casual topic, then go casual. It's like I read recently that it's always good to write the way you talk. So that's something I really follow. Wherever I'm given that space, I'll definitely do that. So I try to come up with content that has some conversations, so that people can easily relate to it, and keep it very simple. I basically, I'm scared of reading content whenever I have to go searching for a dictionary. I don't think that's a big deal. People may differ, but then for me, I make sure that it is very simple. I use very simple words, and I make sure that it is easily understood by any person. That's the kind of content I think we should be writing more, so that we'll have more people reading it, because they're not scared of having to search for a dictionary to understand whatever is written. So simplicity, yes, makes a big difference, and the future is bright, really bright. Only thing, you have to keep adapting yourself to the changing trends. There's a lot of trendy stuff coming up, and see, for example, you still need to write a script. If video content, from what the trends are going on, video content is really picking up. So even for video, you need to have a script ready. That script has to be written, right? So yes, we are there. We are there to last for some more time, definitely. So just make sure that you keep up with whatever is trending, and keep reading a lot. And also, I think you have to adapt yourself to more types of content that is trending. Yeah. So Nainika asks, "Hi, ma'am. How can I future-proof myself in the field of content writing?" Yeah. So Nainika, it's just what I said right now. You have to like keep up with whatever is trending and adapt yourself. Opt for a new course if you feel you're not confident enough. There are a lot of writing courses available right now. Even on JobsForHer portal, you'll find a few courses by Omkar. Even I did a course with Omkar last year or something, because I was new to this creative agency, and I was struggling there when it came to a particular type of content because I was not used to it, and there was no one to guide me there. So that's the first thing. I had met Omkar at Jobs for Her event, the first conference that we had in Bangalore. So I remembered that, and I just called him up. So we chatted for a while, and I thought it'll be best that if I can get a mentor like him to help me through that particular phase that I was going through. And he agreed to that, and it was good. It was really helpful, and I must say that I also told him, like, I must say that very first project that I did soon after, almost when the course was getting over, was actually liked by our client. So it not only passed our internal review, it went to the client, and the client actually liked it. So that way it has really helped. So please figure out what you are interested in doing, what is trending, and in case you find it difficult to learn it by yourself, go for a course. Like you can. Omkar's courses are available on Jobs for Her portal. I checked that, so you can actually go through that also. And there are a lot of courses available. You search YouTube, there are a lot of online courses also available. So please take up those courses if you feel you are not very comfortable with a particular type of writing. And again, even after the course, if you are not quite happy with it, I would suggest switch to whatever you feel you are comfortable with. Yes, of course, it is always beyond your comfort only. You can actually uh, what do you say, succeed, but still sometimes I feel that there's no point. Uh, See, for example, if you ask me to write academic content, I'm very sorry, I've tried it, and that's definitely not my cup of tea. So I decided that I'm not going to do it at all. So I even later on, I've got a few offers later on also asking for academic content, and I refused it straight away because it's not going to work out with me. So yeah, sometimes you have to really take a call on certain things. So yeah, so that's it. So you can future proof yourself by keeping up to the trends. Keep improvising yourself, and keep learning. Keep reading a lot and keep learning. Keep writing. Yeah. Smita asks, "Hi, what are the basic principles to follow that will help me become an effective communicator?" Yeah, communication. So that's one of the yeah. One second. Huh? Effective communicator. See, one of the major advantages that writers have is that they are able to communicate. But that becomes effective only when you do it on time. It is very important to communicate, even the basic stuff. From my experience, what I've seen is a lot of freelance freelancers, because I was into freelancing for a while, some time back. So as I felt, it was very important for me to keep communicating to my client that I'm on it, I'm on a certain work, and in case if I feel that I may miss a deadline, I'll intimate the client immediately, because see, someone is waiting for your response, thinking that you will deliver it on time, and there's no point keeping them waiting till you pass the deadline and you don't deliver. So what I always do is keep them informed. In case I know that I'm not going to finish it on time, I'll tell them, see boss, I'm sorry about it, but then for this particular reason, I was not able to complete it. But give me 1 more hour or couple of more hours or maybe a day more, and I'm sure I'll complete it and I'll share it. And I used to do that. I used to make sure that I do it. So this has really helped me retain a lot of clients. Mm, See, I've got clients with whom I have worked for more than a year, more than 2 years, more than 3 years. So this happens only because I kept communicating. The communication is from my side. I always make sure that it is clear and it is definitely on time. So that's a very important aspect because I've worked with a lot of freshers and I've taken a lot of interns with whom I've worked, and I've most of the times it is very annoying when they don't respond on time. Like I give them some assignments and I expect that to be submitted on time. I, in fact, ask them when comfortably they can finish it. They give me a time and they don't respond within that time. I get very annoyed. And it's not good. See, with me, I can still understand we are all women and we have our priorities, yes. But then if you have taken up some work, please make sure you complete it on time. Makes a big difference to your reputation. So, as an effective communicator, I think that is one point I have to keep telling again and again. You have to keep communicating with your client. If you have any doubts, please communicate, clear it up. If you keep it to yourself, it's not going to help you or your client, right? End of the day, you both have to be happy. Like you have to deliver what the client is expecting you to. So for that, you have to clarify all your doubts. So make sure that you mail them, because see, a lot of times what I feel is we use WhatsApp a lot. Even I use WhatsApp a lot, okay, to communicate with my team, with my clients, and everywhere. But then what happens is on when I put certain things on WhatsApp and certain things on mails, communication tends to go here and there. Then even I find it difficult to trace what I had told someone, when, how, where. Okay, let's not get into that. Make sure you have for quick references, use WhatsApp or chat or whatever, but make sure that you mail it. Whatever communication you have with your client or your boss or your subordinates, whatever it is, please mail it. Mail it properly. Phrase it out very clearly. Make it very clear that this is the thing I wanted to communicate, and get a response. Make sure that they've read your mail and get them to respond to you. So that way, you know that you've communicated whatever has to be done, whatever had to be done, and they've seen it and they've responded back. So you have it on records. Yeah. So to be an effective communicator, yeah, use the right kind of words. The right tone matters a lot, because when you are writing and when another person is reading it, it is very different from when you're saying something and the person is listening to it. So be very clear of the kind of words that you use and the tone, the overall tone of your content. Even if it is a mail, please make sure that it is a formal tone and it is whatever tone is required there. Okay, so be very clear about it, and please make sure that it is not at all ambiguous, because many a times it has happened that we intended something and the reader read it some other way, and things can go wrong there also. So be very clear of whatever you wanted to say. So you have to mind your language, mind your tone, and mind your choice of words. Okay. I hope that answers Smita's question. Veena asks, how should I prepare myself to become a freelance content writer? Okay. So you've asked for two things. Freelancing is a different subject altogether, and content writing. Yeah. So content writing, if you want to start, read a lot and start writing. It is very simple. You have to read a lot, go through, you have to figure out what you want to write on. Because a lot of people come asking, can you share some topics that I can write on? No, I'll never do that, because I don't even know what kind of topics interest you. Unless it interests you, how can I say write on this? No, that doesn't happen. That way, it'll be very difficult for you to start off with writing. The first thing is to be comfortable with whatever kind of things you want to write on. So once you're comfortable with that, once you know what you have to keep in mind while writing, then you can venture out and get into writing for clients, like their choice of topics. You can research and write, but you have to be first comfortable with writing. So for that, what I always suggest is start a blog. There's nothing, nobody is stopping you from that. It's your own blog. You have a wall of yourself, and just start writing. Instead of writing on a diary, you will be writing on a virtual diary, you can say. Then feel free to share it with people whom you're comfortable with. People may criticize, yes. Let's take, just make sure that you take it positively. Try constructive criticism is going to help you throughout. So be open to feedback, be open to criticism, try to understand how you can improve yourself with that. But one more thing I would say is, if you feel you are fine with your way of writing, please stick on to that. Nobody can force you to change your style of writing. Nobody can do that. So just make sure that you take a lot of feedback and improve wherever you find you should. And the basics, just what I covered a little while ago, like the Grammarly and plagiarism stuff. Those are just the basics. So make sure it clears all that, so that the even the reader finds it interesting enough, and they are not distracted with spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes, typos, and stuff like that. Because I tend to get really what do you say, distracted with that kind of stuff. I may just stop reading, and I'll straight away ping that person who ping the writer that hello, you have these typos and this is not right and stuff like that. So let's not get into that space. But to be frank, all these happens. Okay, sometimes when you type, some typos come up, your autocorrect comes up, and things go weird. But still, take it in a very positive way. Make sure that after, once you write, read your draft a couple of times and then only publish it. If you can also share it privately with a few friends, or uh, whoever you feel can actually give you a proper feedback. I mean, who can actually tell you where you can improve, or say this is not right, or this is really good. So you should actually try that also. If you're a little bit hesitant, you should try that share it privately with a few of your friends or relatives and get their feedback. Then rework. If you get some good feedback and you feel you should rework, do that, and then go ahead and publish it. Then you share it with more people, people outside your contact, or outside your close contacts, so that you will get a mass feedback. Don't expect everyone to give you a feedback, because people don't have time to read. Don't feel disheartened that your articles were not read by many people whom you know. Happens even now. I would say I have a blog and I hardly have 200 250 people following me. It's fine. Like, it's been 3 4 years since I started it, and I'm totally fine with that, because I just use it to share my views, and it's okay. Like, people like it, fine, they follow me. They don't like it, they don't follow me. That's all fine with me. We don't have to really take it that seriously or that personally. That's fine. So I basically use my blog to share my thoughts, and because I wanted to experiment and get into fiction writing. So there I thought the best place to experiment was my own blog, because nobody is going to tell me, hey, you cannot do this, because it's my blog, and I'm the boss there. I decide what I'm going to publish or not. Okay, as long as it doesn't humiliate others, or it is not offensive, uh, it's fine. I can post whatever I want there. So I've done a lot of experiments on my blog. In fact, I started writing local, like I'm basically a Malayali. So I was never confident in writing Malayalam, first of all, because I was more into English writing and more. I used to read a lot more English. So yeah, so my blogger gave me an opportunity to start writing in Malayalam, and I published a lot of fiction stuff in Malayalam on my blog. So yeah, that's the thing. So if you want to become a freelance writer, then you have to first start writing a lot, share it a lot, get a lot of feedback, and use your profile, your jobs for her profile, your LinkedIn profile, and all to showcase your writing. So that is one way of you telling the world that, hey there, I'm here, I'm a writer, and this is the kind of writing I do. I'm interested in these kinds of writing, and yeah, I'm open to offers. So yeah, so that's how you start off with freelance. Then there are a lot of websites where you can. There are a lot of portals where you can register as a freelancer and start getting works. It's not an easy job. Freelancing is not easy at all. It takes a lot of effort from your side also to actually establish yourself as a writer. You may have to give away a lot of free content, free samples, and uh, initially get paid less, yeah, but till you build a profile, that's it. So once you have a good profile with you, people will come asking for like your service. So that's from my experience. That's what I have done. So yeah, it's a very demanding profession. Let me just warn you. All right, Tinoki asks, I was an English literature teacher for more than 20 years. Wow. I want to start my career in content writing. How should I go about with it? Yeah, so ma'am, what I suggested right now, start writing, start sharing it with your friends, start sharing it on social media, get feedback, keep writing more, and do register yourself on JobsForHer and other portals where you get a chance to showcase your writing. Like JobsForHer also has blogs. Even I used to write. A couple of my blogs have been published on JobsForHer earlier also when I had started off. So these are great platforms where you can showcase your writing talents, and from where you can actually get a lot of contacts through whom you can land good projects, even as a freelancer, or even if you want to go full time also. So network a lot, write a lot, keep sharing. Use the tools like I had mentioned some time back, like Grammarly, plagiarism checker. There are a lot of tools available, free tools, paid tools. A lot of tools are available. You can do that, or if you're not confident enough, please join a course. There are courses available on Jobs for Her and online also. So join a course. End of the day, you have to write. That's the only way you can go about it. Keep writing a lot. Keep experimenting with different types of writing, because we really don't know unless you try it out. We don't know whether you can actually do it or not. So keep experimenting a lot. This is one field which uh, lets you do a lot of experimentation, because I've tried a lot of types of content. I have written on career. I've written a lot of fiction. I've written screenplays for a couple of sitcoms. So all these are basically experiments only, because I wanted to try out if I can actually do it. It was basically challenging myself to try out things that I thought I may not be able to do it, but then it went fine. So yeah, you have to keep doing it. Then only you'll know what you're good at, and take a lot of feedback, and use it positively. Take it positively. Vishruti asks, can you suggest some courses that will make me both an effective communicator and better content writer? Yeah. So as I just mentioned some time back, there are some courses available on reskilling courses available on Jobs for Her. So You can actually try those courses. I recommend Omkar's courses because I've done it, and I found it really helpful for me. And there are a lot of courses available even otherwise. But for writing, to be very frank, I would suggest you, unless you start off with writing, there's no way you will know where you lack. You understand that? You have to keep writing a lot, different type, try out different types of content, share it left, right, center on social media, LinkedIn, get a lot of feedback, and then start refining your own content. Again, go for a second round of feedback. It's fine. Like, see, the only aim there is to improve yourself. So it's fine. You get a lot of feedback and keep improving yourself. So at some point, you will start getting inquiries, and that's where you know, yeah, you've cracked it. You know, you're good at that, and then make sure that keep improving. See, improvisation is something you have to keep doing. Learning is something you have to keep doing. It's a continuous process. Research a lot and write a lot. Read what you write, what you have written, and rewrite it. Yes, that happens a lot. You have to go through your content a couple of times and write, rewrite. All these happens. So yeah, Vishruti, I think your doubt is clear with that. Pooja asks, is there a chance of merging my content writing career with the field? If yes, which one do you think will be the best option? Yeah, so Pooja, what I've seen is I started off with content writing only. So now it's like I'm leading a team with a team which is into digital marketing. So that's because I've worked with a lot of digital marketing teams. So I slowly picked up what it is all about, and somehow I managed to understand. And I have always liked social media, so you'll find me everywhere on social media, on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, here, there, everywhere. So I basically spend a lot of time online because I have to read a lot to write a lot. So I'm researching a lot of time online only. So that way, digital marketing is one field I think you should try, because what I feel is like a lot of companies, though it's more because they don't understand, they don't realize that these are different fields, but then a lot of companies ask for content marketers who are writers as well. So I actually don't get into content marketing because it, it requires a lot of your time. You have to do a lot of research and spend a lot of time on social media for content marketing. But I'm more into content strategy and writing because that's my interest area. But yes, I know a lot of people who are into both, like content marketing and content writing as well. These two go together very well. So if you are a writer and you can write well and also crack the digital social media, social media and digital marketing fields, then SEO stuff like that, and then that's the best combo that you can do. So yeah, so I would suggest that, or else get into PR, public relations. So that's again another actually different area where the writer can be of good value. PR. Okay, so I have this question. Kanika is asking, what is the role of a content writer in PR? All right, so it's a little tricky, but then see, I'm telling this from my experience. Okay, so I've done a few press releases and stuff like that for a few brands. Okay, whether it is worked out or not, don't ask me, because sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, because each media house has its own way of releasing content. Okay, so there's a lot of other stuff also involved when it comes to releasing content. There's a space like constraint, and every media has their own style of writing. So if you are comfortable with the kind of content that comes on news media, then I think as a writer you can actually help a lot of brands communicate to their audience, to the public, through press releases and the media. So everywhere the writer is of use, because whatever you want to communicate, you have to write it and communicate, right? You have to, whatever, even if you're saying something, you better have it written down and then go through it and then you say it, right? So the writer is always of use everywhere. So as a content writer, you can always make sure that your communication is very clear. As I mentioned earlier, your tone of communication, it all depends on the kind of audience that you're addressing. So as a writer, you can be very clear about what you want to say in the right tone, the right use of words and stuff like that. Yeah. So we come to the end of the questions. So I'm very happy to share whatever I know from my experience with you all. So I have this blog of mine. Those who are interested can, yeah. So those who are interested in getting into content writing, knowing more about it, can connect with me directly. Also, in case you want the jobs for, I'm in the groups already available there in the groups, so you can connect with me personally, and I can help you out in whichever way I can to get into this field. Yeah. So hope you are all staying home and staying safe. Yeah. Thank you.